hard for quite some time. Eventually, we finally broke her, but it took a while and it was frustrating.
I got a cat who loves to chew cable, and every time you plug your cell phone in to get it charged up, she loves to eat those cables, and the cables off the TV and everything else. And she's costing a fortune.
Yeah. Well, Larry, you're gonna have to give me some tips on how you broke it. This is the first time I've ever had a destructive dog like that, and I am.
Yeah, we just literally did our best to put up with it, but you know, I actually don't know what to tell you. I'm not good with dog training.
He's 6 months old. We need to talk to Tracy Costello. We miss him on these calls.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll talk to Tracy. But I've so far lost a pair of sandals, a pair of shoes. He's chewed the corner of 2 of my walls, a coffee table, 2 stools.
Oh, I just got done cleaning up pee off of my yoga mat just now. That's why I'm a little late.
That's why I don't have a yoga mat.
Well, yeah. Welcome to the dogs doing their thing in the house morning.
Yeah. So mindset is everything, guys. I will tell you, 15 minutes ago, I was in the worst headspace you could possibly be in. I was angry, frustrated, stressed out, and then I realized that I have to talk to y'all in a couple of minutes. I better get my act straight. So thank you. Thank you for giving me a reason to reset this morning.
You bet.
I gotta get some water.
Happy Friday, everyone. It's July 10th. We have been 10 days into the 7th month of 2020. And guess what? You've made it. You've made it this far. You have a 100% success rating so far. You have made it through 100 of the bad percents of 2020. Go you. What'd you do with it? Where are we at? What are we at with your business? What's going on? What are you working on? Is that a horse on your background?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, it's a horse with buck teeth who goes, "Ee, woof, ee, woof."
A barking horse. I like it. Awesome. So Dick's dealing with barking horses. Love all the red shirts today, guys. Keep that red alive on Fridays. Remember everyone deployed. Chris, write that down. Yeah, purple's on Tuesdays, red on Fridays. Okay.
So Dan, yesterday at this listing I was working on, I was listening to your call yesterday morning, but I was busy scrubbing the house. This client is in California, never met them, and was referred to me by the guy who I just sold his other townhouse in the same complex. He's an investor. So thankfully he referred me to them, but I told him one thing that you guys have given us the tip on is not to negotiate on her commission. So having never met them, I'm like, you know, hope you're okay with the 6%. I know I could be stronger saying that, but you know, I explained a couple things and then I just shut up. And there was a slightly uncomfortable silence. I'm like, this is my percent. So they're like, oh, it's kind of sticker shock. And I said, well, yes, I realize that, but in California, homes are each about $1 million. And, you know, so again, I just kind of shut up and I'm like, okay, well, just send us over the contract. So, you know, I got my 6% and so I just, but I, you know, it's that I told you I have this expectation of excellence and I got there and the house wasn't quite the way I wanted. And the guy who'd helped him fix it up, it's the same guy who referred me. The refrigerator was a mess. And I'm like, I can't let this house be shown like this. And so, you know, I spent literally a couple of hours cleaning it up and she was so grateful. She's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. You know, she didn't see the mess, but anyway, it was just, it felt good to get that done and make it look good. But I can't walk into a house and see a mess like that. I hope none of our realtors would do that. Because I look at a house and go, how did they even put this on the market without, you know, could you have swept that up? Could you have just wiped off a counter or wiped out a sink or whatever? Anyway, it's just a couple of good lessons there.
Yeah, that's not an unusual story. I went to do an open house for another agent, got there, the family had just had breakfast and the stove had all the cooking grease from doing bacon and all that stuff. They didn't even clean it up. I had to, you know, get out. Fortunately, the agent that was listing the house had a little cleaning kit there. So I was able to pull that out, but you know, here I am cleaning a stove and wiping down counters and all that before sitting the open house that day. So not unusual.
Yeah, I've
Have your
definitely.
little bag of power in your car. Always have like a little broom, even if it's a hand broom, toilet paper, tools. I've needed all of that in houses. So
So always have somewhat of a wet rag or something you can wipe up with, broom or something like that, small if you can, a little dustpan, a little handheld one, and toilet paper.
Yep. Especially the vacant houses.
Toilet paper, absolutely. If you're doing open houses and you do them constantly, it's always good to have those items in the vehicle all times and a little stool for you to sit on. So
Stool, folding
My
chair,
very-
or something like that.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I
My
interrupted.
very first deal was a listing and the owner staged it and there was this glass table and I didn't know, but the base was partially broken. And then when it was being showed, someone knocked into it and the glass table shattered throughout the whole condo. And the agent that showed it called me. And at first I was like, oh, well, do I need to, go take care of that? And he's like, oh, yes, you do. And I went there and the glass was shattered everywhere. And I had to find a broom and a box and worked like crazy to get that cleaned up. I had to go back the next day with my vacuum.
You'd think the other agent would have helped.
Oh,
well, welcome to the realization that nobody's going to work like you do. No one's going to show the level of care and expectations that you guys do. That's what makes Keller Williams different. We have a higher standard of excellence. Thank you.
Amen. Hip, hip, hooray.
Hip, hip, hooray. Awesome. What kind of struggles do you have, guys? I want to start working on some of those, get some scripting together. It's actually get some, I don't want to do so much of a mastermind right now. We want to actually do some scripting and role play. Where are you feeling less confident today?
I have to call a seller that oh my gosh, I'm sorry, but God is good because I'm just going to Home Depot, minding my own business, and I get a text message from a realtor in Utah. And I'm always kind of like, that's weird that some random person's just reaching out to me. But he looked up realtors in Tucson and, well, my name's Angela Aguilar, so maybe it was an alphabetical, I don't know. So he picked me. And he has a client here that wants to move to Utah, so they need to sell their house. So my thing is I need to call them this morning, and introduce myself and, just kind of get to know who they are. And I also need to get that appointment. So I just want to make sure if anyone has any tips on to make sure I get this appointment because I want a listing.
Yeah, I'll answer first. In your whole conversation, you speak like you are the listing agent. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what I'd like to do. Let's get the paperwork done. I'll be. Where can we meet? Just like you're on it, like it's like you own it. Have that. That tact in your voice, and don't let them find a hole to even think about having to talk to anybody else.
Okay, that makes sense.
The other thing would be, I would suggest, is that let them know that that person from Utah actually picked you to contact them.
I definitely was gonna say that for sure.
I would tell them I have a bunch of albums from the Mormon Tabernacle Choir at home. I play them all the time. Sort of network with them.
Dick, you need help.
I gotta say this. Have fun with your clients. Joke around a little bit. Make sure you're yourself. But people would rather do business with people they like, they trust, they feel they're confident, and render a good value. Those are the 4 reasons why anyone ever buys. So, don't forget those items. Those 4 areas.
I'm sorry, Randy. I got to just point out, thank you for that. I needed that little laughter right now.
What's that?
Oh, God.
Okay, share.
Yeah, you didn't put it in the chat, so we don't know what you're laughing about. Now we're mad.
Randy, just start talking.
What did I do? Had a bad night, so I woke up in jail.
You know, when I saw that shirt on you, Randy, that's the first thing I thought of, and I thought, no, I won't go there.
Wow.
Oh, I'm here to entertain too.
So one of the things we're missing is the levity in our daily activities, having some fun.
That's what I'm here for.
With the conversations that we're having with the clients out there, as long as you're having, just the confidence in your tone is going to be key, Angela. Like everyone is saying like that, it's just how you deliver it. You want to deliver it from a point of view that has no exit. There is no other alternative. I am the dead stop. As Dick Nichols, I am the go-to guy. You are the go-to gal. You're the one that gets it done. And if you have that confidence in your delivery, you're actually going to oversee a lot of these objections right away.
Hey, you know what? Steal it, Angela. When you get on the phone going, yeah, they call me the go-to gal around the office because I get things done. So what can I do for you today?
Exactly.
Just get them all together. Hey, this is Angela Aguilar, your friend in real estate. You know, the house girl over here at Stratford. Call me the go-to gal because I get things done.
Use it. Seriously.
Oh
use
gosh,
it.
I'm a little Chris Edwards and everything. Check you out.
And then don't forget your higher standard of excellence.
Yes.
You know, hey, can I raise a point that I think is interesting?
Yes.
We're seeing a lot of people around the country, especially people who are first responders, police officers, and stuff like that, who are looking at losing their jobs because of the defunding thing. Mm-hmm. Like Seattle just passed a law, or the council just passed that they're going to cut the Seattle funding by 50%, and they're going to be losing a lot of police officers, letting them go. A lot of those people are going to be heading to places like Arizona and to Tucson. And you might as well start thinking about in a very subtle, very nice way to make yourself visible out in those markets that, you know, and talk about what a great place Tucson is to live in and work in and whatever, because they are coming. So if you build it, they will come. So I can't believe I said that. I got a lot of response on everybody with that one.
Made us sad, Dick, that they're defunding the cops, and we're not going to get political on these calls at all, but whatever you believe in it. Your beliefs can go as far as they want as long as they don't impede somebody else's.
That's right.
The one thing I want to talk about for you guys is your sphere of influence. I want to keep pounding this home because I was talking to a listing agent yesterday and a potential recruit, actually a mega agent in his own right. They do about 25 million in production a year, so a decent sized business. And I asked him, I was like, where do you want to grow your business to? And he says, well, we want to double it. So we started talking about them. They do a ton of Facebook. They do a ton of Google. They do a ton of ads. They do a ton of internet, all phone call stuff. And that's it. Just massive investments in leads, massive investments in pipeline stuff, but not a single bit of it is reciprocated. It's not reciprocal. It's not circular. It's not referral business. It's not sphere of influence. And I asked him, I was like, what would happen if you were to call back all the people you've done business with in the past, in the last 10 years, and start having these conversations and start creating a better relationship? How many more deals could you get? And we wrote it down. We started looking at it. And just based off of his understanding of where his business would be at, he would be about 40 million in production a year if he were just to implement the sphere of influence. And the sphere of influence is the people you've done business with in the past, to start calling those people. Give them a call. Hey, Larry, it's Big Dan over at Keller Williams. How you been? Then just continue a forward call. For those of you who don't remember what Ford stands for, what's the F?
Family.
Okay, what are some family questions?
Have any kids?
How's kids doing?
How are your kids doing? You got any kids? You know, what's changed since we spoke last? Have you grown your family?
Yeah. How are you? How is everyone in your family holding up through this whole mess?
Yeah.
Great question. You know, the world's in upheaval. How's your family been taking it? Okay, now we move on. We get some information. We take our notes, right? Got married. Her name's Jane. She has a thing for guys in Swinging vines. I have a black lab. So, then move on. Next question, what's O?
Occupation.
Now, what are some very powerful questions about occupation?
How has
Has-
COVID affected your job?
Has your work been affected by this whole mess?
Well, is the question, has your work been affected by this, a powerful question?
How
How has your work been affected by this?
There we go, Larry. We got it.
There we go. How have things at work been affected? How has your job been affected?
Did the budget affect you?
Thank you.
Again, it's a yes or no answer. You want to kind of stay away from those, Jason.
I was kind of screwing around because you're going off of the comedian of when he did the random call. Is that what you were going off of?
No, I want to ask open-ended questions. I write 50 questions a week that are powerful, insighted questions that I can have conversations with people. So it triggers my brain to have these conversations where I stop asking, do you want to grow your business? And instead asking, how do you want to grow your business? Okay, now we get the occupation in there, What's been going on with work? How are things at the job? Where are you working these days?
Yeah, and actually, I asked that question of one of my clients. They own their own company. The husband and wife both work at their own company, and the wife, I got the wife on the phone. She went through an almost 3 or 4 minute dissertation about how their government contracts, went into question. They were able to do the PPP and obtain funding for that. That's what kept them afloat. Blah blah. She just went through this whole long story, but gave her the opportunity, and she took the time to answer the question with their whole story. So it was an interesting conversation to see how that single question can turn into a long explanation of someone that went through all the things that we're seeing in the news. Here's a small business that could take out a loan to stay afloat, pay their employees, and they successfully went through that process. Anyway, it was that, what we talk about here, when you ask those questions, she just went off, and it was a great conversation.
You never know what you're going to get when you ask the right question. Right? Raise your hand if you ever heard the saying of who asks good questions controls the conversation. The term is whoever asks the most questions controls the conversation. No. It's who asks good questions. Because if I ask you a bunch of yes or no questions, am I having a conversation or am I having an interrogation?
Interrogation.
That's why you want to have a fine line. There's a ton of question asking. The difference between the two is a good question incites a conversation. It's responded in paragraph form. An interrogation is a question that gets answered with a single point. What's your favorite color? How many dogs do you have? Do you like red? Are you hungry? Where do you want to eat? Typically, you're going to get a 3-word response to that, right?
I don't know.
When you think about it, when you were younger, at least when I was a lot younger, and you like somebody and you want to ask them out on a date, you would want to get to know them, and you would ask questions and be relatively mild about it. You would never interrogate them, but you were trying to create an area that you had something in common with, and you hope that they would answer and start providing more information. So I always think that when I'm working with a client, whether it be a buyer or a seller, I'm trying to create a relationship, maybe even a match for myself. Now, there aren't too many people like me, I understand that, but if I can find a few ones, I got a few clients. But it's like a first date. You don't interrogate anybody. Got another one of my great tips that just went vroom.
Did go vroom. It's stuck. It's cord. Everyone's smiling, nodding, writing it down.
Okay.
Okay, now we go to R. What's R?
Recreation.
Recreation. I am nailing these points home, guys, because I just talked to a $25 million producer, and if you guys can do a 3% math on that, just guess what his income is and how much it would have changed by just implementing these 4 letters. So R, recreation. What are some good, powerful questions for recreation?
What do you do for fun?
What do you do for fun? How are you staying sane in all this? Give me another one.
Where's the last place you went on vacation?
Is that a powerful question?
I went to Kauai. And what did you do when you were there?
Vacation. What have you done recently that was exciting? What'd you do for vacation last year? You don't want to single it out. Where was the last place you went on vacation? Germany. Oh, cool. Did you have fun? Yeah.
Did you eat bratwurst?
Uh-huh. Drink beer? Uh-huh. That's the difference. Is the question is, where was the last exciting place you went on vacation? It's an assumption question. You're assuming they went on vacation. Oh, we haven't taken a vacation in a while. Why is that? What stopped you? Be interested. Not interesting. Ask questions. You're muted, Mr. Larry.
Yeah. I went on vacation in Germany. Tell me about that.
Tell me about that. Tell me what was your favorite part?
The Berlin Wall.
What's your best story from that vacation?
Yeah. Be excited. Try to plug into their soul and like live vicariously through the stories. You think that Dick has a good time having, interaction and talking to people and creating relationships just by question asking because he is genuinely interested in knowing who they are. Is he an interesting guy? Absolutely. He's like a talking horse. Everyone wants to watch that show, Mr. Ed.
I use them in my advertising. I do.
And Dick Nichols is, and that's the same thing. I want you guys to be the same way. I want people to know you as the most caring individual that they've ever dealt with. I want you to be known as the most charismatic individual you've ever been dealt with. And those things actually go hand in hand. The book.
I would nominate Larry the House Guy. He's one of the most caring, nicest people I've ever met in this business.
Aw.
Humble too.
But when you ask questions that incite feelings like that, we want to move on. Now we go to the last one. My favorite. Dreams.
Oh God.
Dreams.
You
guys can
you
ask
went
questions.
there. You went there.
But you'll never forget it.
I know that's dream I could think of.
Give me some dream questions.
If you could live anywhere you want to live, or any kind of house you could live in, what would it look like?
Ooh, what would it look like? I was gonna have to shut him down because he was going on a path of singularity, but he turned it around. What would it look like?
Where'd you think he was going?
Yeah, if you leave any, where would it be?
Oh yeah.
Where would it be? Denver. Single answer. What would it look like? Good switch there.
Obviously, Tucson. Beautiful, gorgeous southern Arizona.
I was just going with the D terms. Dallas, Duluth, downtown. All right. Give me another powerful question for dreams.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Ooh. Right here in the heart, man. How about this? Where's the first place you're gonna go when the world opens back up?
In-N-Out Burger.
In-N-Out Burger. What are you planning next year? What are you planning? What's your goal for 2020? Well, it's July. I know we still got 6 months to bring it all together. What are your goals? How about this one? I mean, follow me. It might be really complex. What are your dreams? Oh, damn. Oh.
God, I'm too embarrassed to even to admit them.
So let's put it all together. Who wants to be my agent? Who wants to be my client? Let's do a quick run through. Question, answer, move on.
I'll be your client.
Okay, Dick's be the client. Who's my agent? Chris, you want to give it a shot?
I'll do it.
All right, we start off with ring, ring. Dick will answer.
Hello, this is a go-to guy. May I help you?
Wait, I'm so sorry. Am I the realtor you said?
Yep, you're the agent.
Okay. Hey, Dick, how you doing? This is Chris with Keller Williams. How you doing today?
Well, fine, Chris. How you doing?
Oh, I am blessed, sir. Can't complain. I'm just hoping I caught you at a good moment here. Is this a good time to give you a call?
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you call, Chris, is going to be a good time for me. All right.
You've always been the man, Dick. I just wanted to give you a call here. So just wanted to talk, see how you've been. How's your family doing? How's your kids doing? How's everything going during all this time?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. Actually, we're doing pretty good. Everybody's, concerned, but God has blessed us, and we're having a good time, and we're looking for even better times in the future.
I know that's got to keep kicking and pushing, kicking and pushing. You still working as a realtor yourself? Still getting the house sold?
I never stopped working as a realtor.
Always got to keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I forgot what the next one was.
Someone help him out. Tag, you're it. Come and jump in.
Recreation.
All right, Mara, hit him with a recreation question.
So,
Hello, Mara.
what have you been doing to get out and keep busy? Have you gotten out and done any?
Well, like everyone else, we're concerned that we're wearing our face masks, but there's a lot of things to see and do, and we have to go shopping. And I meet people, and because I have X-ray vision, I can see beyond their mask and know who they are.
Well, that's good. I know some people are trying to wear their masks while they're jogging. I think that'd be pretty tough, huh?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. How are you doing?
Oh, good. Thanks. Just trying to keep busy and safe. So, and if have you tried to think about when things get a little more normal, what you want to do as far as, are you guys thinking of any trips in the next year or?
Well, I'll tell you, I want to see more of the state of Arizona. And yeah, we're making plans now because I guess we're so tired of being locked in our home. We can't wait to get out and do something because life does go on.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we have so many beautiful natural places. Do you guys like to hike or anything?
Yes, we do. Like to go in the foothills, and my wife puts a saddle on me. She rides me up in the foothills, but other than that.
Pause. Awesome. Well, two things I want to pull out of that. Okay, where did Chris slip up?
Uh-oh, he's muted.
The recreation part, I didn't continue, and I forgot the
Occupation. You asked a close-ended question. Are you still working as a realtor? He's all, yep. And then the conversation died. That's why there was no flow to it. Thank you, Dick, for doing that. Because you did. He's all, yep.
Very true.
And then because you tripped up.
Yeah.
How's work been? Good. Are you keeping busy through all these times? Yeah. So another part is when you ask a question, try not to give them multiple choice. Mara pointing out, do you have any things you want to do? Like go on vacation or travel or see the world? I'm like, yeah, all three. Like,
also,
it's very difficult for us not to give the answer that we want. It's really difficult for us to just
point out one thing as being the potential prospect?
Yes, sir.
Get someone on the phone who's willing to talk that much, like I was. Keep them talking. Say, well, how do you mean? How do you feel about that? Or would you share a little bit more about it? Because the more you let them talk, the more they feel closer to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm. The best conversations I've ever had. I don't say a whole lot.
Absolutely. Me, I'm kind of a quiet guy.
So, awesome. I want you guys to practice those. We're going to do more of those, but I think that's going to be a big help in your careers. We did a lead run last week on how to answer and work on leads, but the biggest thing is what are you going to do after you create a relationship with them? Yes, you may get this deal, you may close it down. How are you going to turn that one deal into a lifetime of relationship? Right? Start thinking that way. Start thinking, I don't want to sell one house. You want to do what?
No, 5.
Sell them all. So,
Can I have some help before we end this call here really quick? I know we're running short on time, but I have a little issue.
let's do this.
So my uncle, he stays at a home in Tolleson. He's actually looking to sell. He's doing it for sale by owner. It's sitting on a half-acre land, has irrigation, has a pool. It's a beautiful home. He's selling it as is. My problem is, my uncle's a stubborn dude. He thinks he knows the market. He's one of those people who just, I'm sitting on a gold mine here. If I wait for the next 6 months, it's going to go up 50,000, this and that. And I don't want to list it with an agent because I don't want to pay the fees, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. And I'm wanting to get around all of that. And I just don't know how to pivot because he's just kind of cutting it off. And this is about a week ago. So I kind of let him sit for a little bit and I'm just kind of stuck.
May I make a recommendation?
Please.
Chris, call me, because the problem is that you're too close as a relationship with your uncle. He still remembers you as a little boy who maybe had to change his diapers and stuff like that and made mistakes. I would be glad to take it as a referral and work with you because I love Fizzbos. Boy, it's
Heck. On the other point of that, there's a couple of calls we've done, Chris, for handling FSBO calls. Well, the biggest thing that you said is he's like, I don't want to hire an agent because I don't want to pay the fee. How do we handle that, guys?
We have to show value in
What's the very next thing you need to say when they say, I don't want to pay an agent, I don't want to pay the fees?
What's important to you about that?
Thank you, Marlo. Get to the core of it, Chris. No matter what the objection is, we need to isolate it. What's important about not paying the fees? What makes you say that? Out of curiosity, what is it about the fees that you don't want to pay? Restate the exact question back to him.
Larry has a ghost in his house. Did you see his door just opened up and nothing walked through?
No, the puppies did though.
I know.
We a dog. A dog.
So that's the thing is I don't want to pay an agent. I don't want to pay the fees. Okay, great. I completely understand not wanting to pay the fees. What is it about them that you don't want to pay? What's important about not paying them?
It's thousands of dollars out of my pocket.
Well, you're absolutely right. It is $1,000 out of your pocket, Larry. Did you know that typically people that sell their house on their own are looking for a discount? And that people that buy houses that are sold by owners that own that house are also looking for a discount. So what do? You get two discount people put together. Or are you going to get the most out of your investment?
It's a garage sale.
Individuals just don't realize that we are trained to get them the best price. You know, find out what it is, what dollar amount he's shooting for too. You know, what is it that is his bottom line is?
Yeah,
I think he has a lot of sentimental value with it. He's been there for like 20 plus years and he's trying to put it up there on price. And I'm just like, you're selling it as is. There's some roofing that needs to be done with it. It's old interior. The cabinets are kind of worn out. But he's just. You know, the
great thing about sentimental value is the memories never fade. The memories never lose their value. Uncle, I know you've lived in this house for a long time. It's a great home. The next chapter is waiting for you to get there. Let me show you the way. If I can show you how I can net you the same amount of money, regardless of what you had to pay, wouldn't that be worth it to you? Because at the end of the day, it's all worth what you get to take home, right?
Yeah. And that's what he's all worried about. He's worried about just getting the money to go, get a good amount of it to go buy another home. But
that's where you have the conversation is 90% of for sale by owners eventually wind up selling it with an agent. Those who do not typically sell it for 17% less than they could have had they hired a professional. Those are national statistics. Our compensation is around how much? 6%. So he's still 11, 10, 9, if you do some fudging, % better, utilizing the use of somebody who is in the business to net sellers the most possible.
Well, also, most for sale by owners are willing to give a 3% commission to someone who brings a buyer to them.
So you're only
talking about a 3% difference. And what is it? How do you make up the difference? And how do you make value become more important and that they get more money for their house? They move on to the next part of their life. They don't have to hassle with all the people that are coming over right now and never show up.
What's price
Mhm.
range he's in?
He's up there like at 390s. He's looking at 390 to 380.
Call
And
me.
it,
In the
Call me.
Yeah, in the Phoenix market, that's still kind of going to be in the hunt thing. So, you say, if you employ me to sell your house, and I get this up on MLS, and suddenly 10,000 real estate agents around town are seeing this property is available, as opposed to the people just driving by the front of your house with a sign on it.
exactly.
You should have more. It's entirely possible that I can bring you multiple offers, which will bid the price of the house up.
And I told him that, and he's always worried about, I have people driving by all the time. They want to stop by this. And I told him, you have people driving up, but they're not your right buyers. They are not the people that you are not wanting to work with. So he's just, well, I don't want to put it on MLS, this and blah, blah. I just
And
backed
why
away.
not?
So.
Why not?
Go back to the motivation. You want this house sold, right?
Mm.
Let me handle that for you. You can step aside. I'll take care of it and get you the most money possible.
Mhm,
When you put
mhm.
it on MLS, you get qualified buyers.
Qualified buyers,
Exactly.
not the
Exactly.
tire kickers. Not the tire kickers.
Exactly. And I'm trying to just drill it in his head, but he's, like I said, he's just one of the older gentlemen. That's just, he does it his own way, and until he's kind of tired of it and worn out, that's when he'll ask.
Play on that. Aren't you tired of these people stopping by bugging you?
I like older people.
I know it's hard. I know it's hard for you to step back from this because you're so attached to this house. But let me take that off your back. Let me take care of the people who are coming to the house and make sure that anybody who knocks on your door is going to be coming with. They won't be knocking on the door. They'll just be coming to see the house because real estate agent's going to bring them, and they're qualified buyers.
Yeah.
Just keep at them. Keep at them.
Where does he want to move to? Maybe get him excited about where he's moving to and help him find that next place. Something
Yeah.
like
Yeah. I want to look for him, but he's, like I said, he just wants to wait till he sells this home and all that. I'm finding buyers for him. Like I found little investors here and there, but he's kind of like, I don't know if he talked to them or not. I was gonna go drive up there today to go see him and everything, but yeah, I'm just going back and forth with him. And
You just, next time you go see him, just go, let's sit down and let's have a really serious conversation about this. You're getting tired of all these people bugging you that aren't really buyers. You want to get this house sold. Here's where we are in the marketplace. Here's where our marketplace is. You're going to comp the neighborhood and just have that conversation. You don't have to worry about this anymore if you let me help you.
And a closing cost sheet also might help him to show he's not giving up maybe as much as he thinks if you show
That's
him.
the other thing.
commission
Yeah.
out, and this is what you're gonna net.
Cost sheets.
16% difference. Like the sales price is 16% less without agent fees. Go to tilesecurity.com or wherever you guys are using their fee sheets, and you can see the broker commission on one of them. He's still gonna have to pay all the title fees.
no matter what, right? He has to pay fees if he sold it by himself.
Yes.
It's gonna have to be. There is no such thing as like a car sale where I give you money, you give me a title. No, it's way
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was trying to drill him, but he's like, no, I don't want to pay the fees. And yeah, I mean, I was, I'm the rookie, so I wasn't too sure if there's like a lot of fees he has to really pay, but I didn't
Work
really.
your cost sheet. Work that cost sheet. That way you'll see the fees yourself. Call a title company and go, what's your fees on a $390,000 sale? How much is what's the title insurance? What's the recording fee? What are your fees on a deal at that number?
Chris, has he had a professional assessment of the actual market value of this house? Who is a targeted audience that would buy from that house? How he can maximize his profit? Has he had any of that yet?
No, he hasn't had anybody specifically. He had an agent who had it contracted with him. He had it listed with him. He was going to list it and sell it and flip it basically. But he had this whole ordeal that he put it on the MLS and my uncle never had permission or never gave him permission to do it. And he kind of had a little contract issue. He didn't read the contract early and the contract stated he was allowed to put on the MLS. And he just kind of had a bad taste with agents after that.
Well, I think you need more information about what your uncle really wants to see happen with that property and with his life, and get some more information.
Yeah, well, his deal with that home, it's okay. So it's a little personal story. His son was kind of, incarcerated and this and that. He keeps coming back to the house. He wants to get out of that home because he keeps seeing his son, out of it. He's going through it, and incarcerated again. Long story short, that's why he wants to get out of it. And it's kind of like he's back and forth with, I want to stay because I'm going to get the best price, but I want to get out of it because I don't want to have these bad memories of my son coming in and out. And I just don't know what to do with that, you know.
He's already got some issues that is going to undermine his ability to sell the house. He needs someone who's a professional to come in, help him out, work with whatever he wants to see happen, and put together a comprehensive plan to sell that property.
But it is also hard for them to envision getting out when they don't know where they're going. So I seriously have found that it's helpful to start sending them, these are places you could move to, and get them excited about that.
That's a great idea.
Carly, you're absolutely, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. You got to have a goal. And you need to, Chris, you need to help him establish what his goals are.
So if he starts looking at cute little places and going, ooh, I could do that, and ooh, I might even be able to pay cash or whatever, get him excited about the new prospect.
Why didn't you bring this up first, man? When I asked if anyone had problems or things.
You know, it's just everyone started talking, so I kind of didn't want to cut anybody off. I'm sorry.
It was good. It was really good information.
Dude.
Chris, since you talked to me first on the phone as your potential prospect, I think you should call me again. All right, I'll help you out.
Yeah, for sure. I messaged you. So if you can send me your number, please help me out with this. I'll be more than happy to work with you, man. I just really want to just get started with this.
All right, I'll put my number on the line here, and if I can help you, let me know. All right.
Please,
I don't know, guys, I need somebody for an
Prisoner
open
has
house this
left. The
weekend.
prisoner has escaped.
I can do an open house, whoever just said that.
Is it Renee?
It's Mara. It's Mara's open house, Renee.
In,
Renee's numbers in the
in
chat.
chat, there's my phone number if you can let me know when you want to do it.
Okay.
Okay, thanks everybody.
Awesome, guys. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.